right, hello again, everybody. I am the Amazombie. This is your StarCraft 2 newscast weekly edit. We are on week 14 so far. I believe this is the 6th or 7th that we've done over the video, and we have a special guest with us today, so I'm pretty excited about this, and really happy that he's here to join us. We have Justin Agnew, correct?
Yep, that'd be it.
All right, Justin Agnew. He's the director of the upcoming documentary Star Nation, which we have seen quite a bit about between the Team Liquid threads and the commercials through MLG and the Kickstarter site and everything else. And you seem to be getting quite a bit of support there, so it's good to have you on. Thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me on. Yeah, in all honesty, all the support's been very overwhelming for me.
That's great. I mean, I even when I first saw I had first heard of your movie through the first thread on Team Liquid, and it was like, oh yeah, look, he's doing the Kickstarter thing. That's kind of cool. And then all of a sudden, it was like, wow, it just keeps going up and up. People just keep donating more and more money. Well, wasn't it originally like 9,000 or something was the original project goal, and you hit like 23,000 or somewhere around there?
Yeah. It's it started out. It's just gonna be like a little pet project I do on the side. I've always been a very big fan of documentaries. I'm the friend that everybody goes to and asks, what the latest movie to watch or what's the latest list of movies I give people to watch. But so I had a buddy come down to town here in Texas for his own documentary film premiere. He was actually in it. He didn't make it. I saw it, and I told myself, that's something I could do. And then I got some camera equipment, took a last-minute Greyhound bus up to Dallas, and shot a little like proof of concept sort of thing and put it up on Kickstarter. And I honestly, I expected it to get funded at the very end. I didn't think it would happen as fast as it did. And it went up, and people knocked my socks off. I was very, very overwhelmed.
Awesome. Great. Well, even just your trailers alone that you've put up, and even the original trailer, I mean, very, very well-made just trailers by themselves. Did you do the original editing on the early stuff?
Yes. No, I've done. I'm the only person who's edited anything.
Oh, okay.
So that's all me. The first two events, Columbus and Dallas, I shot by myself, interviewed by myself, ran audio, and I think it shows that I did. Mm-hmm. But now I've teamed up with a production company, Rafe Smith Entertainment, and they're professionals. They know how to do this, and they've really brought another level of production to the project.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to ask a few questions here, if you don't mind. What you mentioned that you kind of got the idea from watching a buddy's documentary there that he was in. What's your history with film and with StarCraft? How did you get into both of them?
With film, I actually have zero background in film. It's something I've been very honest from the beginning. It's
hey, sometimes you just got to get out there and do it, right?
Yeah. A lot of these documentaries end up turning out to be like passion projects. Mm-hmm. So just like a subject matter that an individual finds fascinating, and usually it's something they're connected to, and they go out and they just kind of brawl their way through making a movie. And that's kind of the path I've chosen. I graduated with a master's degree in architecture in 2009, and then from there...
Where did you graduate from by?
North Dakota State University in Fargo. Quite a bit different from here in Texas, where last week it was 111 degrees. It gets a bit colder in Fargo. But, I put together work where I could, and I was living in Minneapolis, and I took, I spent about a year and a half looking for a job in architecture, and with this economy, the building sector is like gone, it's evaporated,
mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to find work in the field. So then I packed up everything I owned into a pickup truck and moved down to Austin, Texas. And I've been volunteering, I've been doing some construction work on the side, when I can come across it, and had this crazy idea of making a documentary. As far as StarCraft, though, I'm actually pretty new to StarCraft. I picked up StarCraft 2 when the day it came out, and I've been playing it since. But I played Warcraft 3, and I played Diablo and Diablo 2, but I never did play the original.
You were never a Brood War or StarCraft Vanilla?
No. I'm actually very, admittedly, very ignorant about the whole Brood War scene. I'm like slowly learning like everything there is to know, but it's...
Well, you're getting trial by fire with some of the famous Koreans you're meeting.
Oh, no, yeah, no kidding, man. I'm having a hard time remembering all the foreigners, real names, faces, gamer tags, and throw Koreans in the mix, and it just makes it that much harder.
So far, you said you've been into it since StarCraft 2. Before you started making the documentary, were you into the tournament scene at all, or just playing?
No, just playing. I'm one of those guys that I played Warcraft 3 for 8 years. Through Frozen Throne, all of that.
Mm-hmm, sure.
It's probably spent most of my time playing Dota, but I'm one of those players that would log on and just play for fun. And I had no idea there was a Warcraft 3 professional scene. And I've seen documentaries on the stuff in North Korea, or excuse me, South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. I've always known that there were StarCraft 2 players, people who play professionally, over in Korea. And I never knew about the foreigner scene. I was pretty ignorant about it. And then I started playing StarCraft 2, and eventually I made the phase where I learned the game playing multiplayer, like randoms, like 3v3, 4v3, and 2v2, like randoms, and I play with my buddy every now and then. And then eventually somebody put me on to, Day 9, and
sure.
Actually almost exclusively Day 9. And so I started watching these videos, and at first, to me, it was incredible that people were able to do replays of other people playing the game, and they would be able to make it a full-time income out of it, be able to sustain themselves. And to me, that blew my mind. I thought that was wild. I think it's great. And then I started finding out about the professional scene and all that, and then I'm like, this is a fascinating subject matter. This is a wonderful world. Like, I started meeting these people, and some of the best people in the world.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The people I've talked to have been, everyone is so overtly nice, and they just love the game,
So this is I'm a gamer. I'm like a lifetime gamer, but I haven't had the strongest familiarity with the professional scene, and once I found out about it, I've just been completely wrapped up in the world. And
so since you've found out about it, who's your favorite players at this point?
Oh, I don't know. I do have my favorites. Favorite player. That's hard for me to say because I'm starting to know. Know some of these guys. So that influences me. I love Chef. Chef.
Sure.
White Raw. Idra. He's a great guy, despite his reputation for being bad manner. He's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. I've never talked to him, but I've always heard that he is one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, he's a solid guy. All these guys are really nice. I'd say if you made me pick a favorite player, it has to be White Raw.
Okay. What race do you play, by the way?
I'm Zerg.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Yeah, I spend my time. I watch Idra. He's the top Zerg, so you have to kind of see how he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I do watch Destiny. I like watching Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun.
Most people like his stream.
Play.
Okay. What about since you're doing the film? What about filmmakers? What kind of film? Who inspires you filmmaking wise?
Oh, Werner Herzog, hands down. He's my favorite.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, are you familiar with him?
Yes.
It's have you seen White Diamond? That's probably my all-time favorite documentary.
No, I have not seen it.
Oh, it's this beautiful mix of new world technology versus old world knowledge. It's a wonderful play off of science and technology, and then this naturalism that's kind of been inherent in our culture since the beginning. You should check it out. It's not for everybody. Not everybody likes it.
Hey, that's okay. I'm into a lot of movies that most people don't like. But I do like documentaries a lot personally. But I am much more of I like good human drama type films. So you've got a ton of funding through the site, through the community, and from Kickstarter. How has the success of the community support changed the film since the original inception? And specifically, when was it originally supposed to kind of be wrapped up, and what are we looking at now?
It's all a tricky question. Well, the scope has changed drastically from the involvement since the first day the Kickstarter went up. Received tons of support from MLG, Justin.tv. All these people are behind the project, and they really like what's going on. And not to mention the people who backed the project, who got it in the forefront initially. So originally it was going to visit 2 to 3 more MLG events. Just kind of capture like the essence of what these events were, and, like, interview these players and try and get just kind of like a introduction to this world for outside people. And then Kickstarter money kept creeping up, and I'm like, all right, well, it won't take that much more money to get this project over to Korea and see, have that kind of compare and contrast between the foreigner scene versus the Korean scene. And so put out a second teaser and put up a new challenge, and people were behind enough to push it up, and I wasn't expecting it, but they came through and gave us enough money to go to Korea.
Have you gone yet?
No, not yet. Things as far as when the movie's going to come out now, it's going to be. Originally, I was hoping late winter, early spring 2012. That's probably not possible anymore. It's more. Actually, I can say it. That 99% probably will not happen. It will be at least another 6 months from that date.
Okay.
And that's because since the interest has been generated into the project, we're starting to kind of realign our scope of what this project can be and what it should be, and ultimately it needs to be like a story driven by the players, and we need to see what their life is like. And for that to happen, it's going to take quite a bit more time.
Have you been? I know you wrote once. I think you said something about going to Europe as well. Have you done any of that, or?
No. We're still in the United States. We probably won't make any overseas trips until after MLG Providence.
Okay.
We're actually our schedule from here on out is getting pretty tight. We're going. I can't really say where we're going just yet. we're going to be visiting some people or some players in the coming weeks. And then we'll be going to the IPL event. We'll be going to BlizzCon. Then we'll be going to MLG Orlando.
Okay.
So it's going to be quite the next 6 weeks.
All right. So we saw a few interviews in the last teaser trailer. It was Sheth and Destiny and White Raw. What other, or can you tell us any other players that you visited or interviewed so far?
Sure. Yeah, we've interviewed a ton of guys. Idra. We interviewed Idra in Raleigh. Really good, about 35, 40-minute interview with him. We're starting to try and get to know some of the guys behind the scenes. So we interviewed Liquid Nazgul, a.k.a.
Oh, okay.
Peterson. Yep. So we sat down with him and interviewed him for...
That's a good figure to get.
Yeah, he's great. Really nice guy. Super nice guy. And we're starting to try to find a few more underdog type stories. So Trimaster, he's
from the last MLG, yeah.
Yep, he kind of blew up, and he doesn't live too far from here, and he's got a lot of connections with Austin. He used to come up here for LAN tournaments and all that. So we want to follow Trimaster a little bit more closely. It all depends on what these guys are interested in letting us come see. But
yeah, you're also down there, isn't? State of the Game and Liquid Tyler and them down there?
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna do a little shooting trip here. Yeah. Now that you're said a couple of the names, but we're gonna go on a little shoot here. We're gonna go visit State of the Game, interview JP.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop by and interview Jason Bass, of one of the owners of Team Complexity.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
And we also interview Trimester. And then we're going to make a trip out to San Antonio to visit Liquid Tyler.
Okay.
And interview with him. But we haven't scheduled any of this. We've talked to them, and we've given them a rough idea of when we're going to be coming out, but we got to see where some other things fall into place before we commit to that. But we'll definitely be getting with those guys.
So, what are your plans so far about release? Are you guys looking at any sort of theatrical release at all, or are we talking straight to Netflix, Blu-ray, Amazon type thing?
Oh, we want this to be like the best thing it can be, and for us to do that, I think we probably have to take this on like a festival tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we want this to be like. I mean, I want this to either be like a Sundance documentary or an HBO documentary.
Okay, sure.
That's what I'm shooting for. I mean, that all depends on if I deliver or not. If
you can actually get everything you want to get.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, this whole community has enough substrate there to really. It has so much to pull from and so much great stories and people, and I mean it's got everything.
And just even with you and the success in generating the money for your film, I mean the community itself is so it loves its own community driven projects, and it loves its own community generated stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that is really interesting and fun about the community.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been so far. It's been a remarkable experience up until now. It's been a blast.
Awesome, excellent. Are you just a couple more questions here? Are you planning another project or a follow up to this?
In the reality of the original vision of the project was I was going to do just make a Kickstarter project. If it got funding, I was going to put something together that would be like a rough glimpse. I mean, it'd be a documentary. It'd be a full documentary experience, and I would have released it. But then the plan was always to keep following the StarCraft 2 community.
Okay.
And so ultimately, it was probably going to be like a 2-phase project where it was the initial documentary where it was just an introduction, and then from there, still keep up with these guys, but probably follow them less frequently. We're going to be going to every event, or every event we can physically go to.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to. But before, the second phase of the project would have been we would just intermittently catch up with these guys and see how things have been changing in their lives over the course of several years. But I mean, we're going to kind of do like a hybrid of doing an introduction type thing where you kind of introduce people to these characters and then you follow their story and see how things change and how they progress as people and as competitors, and how their interpersonal relationships develop. And things are actually getting I mean, I think people are starting to see it, but things are getting pretty cutthroat with the whole esports scene surrounding StarCraft 2. It's getting pretty intense.
Yeah, especially with the growth of it as a quote unquote business, as a viable business, especially in North America. Yeah, no, it's of course been culminated with the EG Liquid situations lately, as I'm sure you know plenty about.
Yeah.
So what about you as a filmmaker? Do you have any ideas for something separate from StarCraft or from esports?
No, not right now. That's too far.
That's way out of the picture, huh?
No, everything I do revolves around making this movie. I dream about it. I think about it when I'm idle. When I'm eating dinner, I think about it. I'm all in. This is everything I'm thinking about, and everything I'm doing is contingent on what's going on with this project. It's something I'm extremely passionate and driven about.
That's really great to hear. Have just one kind of last question. There's a couple other documentaries of the same kind of ilk. Have you met or seen any of those or those filmmakers at all?
Yeah, we all know each other.
Okay.
We're around each other at every single one.
What is it? There's one. The My Life for Ire is one.
Yep.
And
movie by Mary Ratliff. I think Jonathan Sutak is doing My Life for Ire.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't. We don't talk about shop with like what we're doing too much, but I'm pretty sure he's rebranding his documentary.
Oh, okay.
So he hasn't been updating anything, but I just imagine. I know he's been shooting a lot and he's been getting some good content.
And have you heard about the new one that they kind of announced at Sons of StarCraft?
Yeah, it sounds like an exciting idea. I think it remains to be seen what the end product would be like, but it's very exciting. Like we actually we have links to all these projects on our website, so it's not like.
Oh, okay, great.
I don't.
It's not like a competitive thing.
I think you'd like to say no, but I mean, we're all making documentaries about similar subject matter. We all have different angles, but.
And there's always that part of you like, I want to make the best one.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, they have to think the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see them do something good, I'm like, oh, it gets me like angry and motivated. It's like, no, it's my turn. I got to do something better now.
I should have done that. Damn it.
But no, I think all of them are going to be very different looks into the world of StarCraft, and I think each of them will have a very different and equally rich, thing to bring to the table. Like Sons of StarCraft looks great. I mean, the idea is great. I mean, who knows how it's going to turn out? I was actually surprised it got the funding it did without having like a proof of concept type thing put together.
See, I hadn't even looked since the original announcement to see how much funding they had gotten yet.
Yeah,
but I remember thinking, wow, that's quite a bit of funding they're looking for in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I mean, they'll be living with those guys for a month. They're going to get some excellent, and it's a little bit jealous.
yeah, they're going to be a lot of time with them and over with GSL, and there's a whole nother world over there.
Yeah, there's some very interesting things happening with the Korean scene. Like, I mean, the StarCraft 2 scene over there is, it's not coming along quite like everybody's expecting. There's rumors that, I mean, I don't know what I should say. Let's just say, I hope things grow.
Yeah.
More than they are in Korea or StarCraft 2.
Well, yeah, and especially they're having a lot of trouble with Brood War 2 lately.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that.
Oh, yeah,
is it starting to fade?
Huh?
It's starting to fade.
Apparently there's 3 of the major teams are shutting down, and one of the NBC game looks to be changing formats away from gaming. And so, I mean, it may or may not be, but at the same time, it could be a plus side for the future of StarCraft 2 over there. Who knows? I mean, apparently, though, they're not doing too hot, so. I'm not as familiar with the Korean Brood War scene as I am with the Korean StarCraft scene, so I don't know, or StarCraft 2 scene, so I'm not completely certain, but this is just what I hear from threads and reading some articles. Yeah. All right, well, awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show and telling us more about your project, and it was just really cool to hear, and I'm really looking forward to it personally. Anything else you'd like to say? Any other shout-outs or thanks?
Oh, no. Guys, check out our website at www.starnationmovie.com. We have a Twitter page and a Facebook page. Should check those out, too.
All right. Great. Thank you very much. Maybe you can come back on later after the movie's almost done or sometime around there. I'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Yeah, just keep in touch, and I'd love to interview with you again, Will.
All right, great. Much. Thank you very much, Justin. I will hopefully see you again soon.
All right. Take it easy.
Thank you. All right, everybody. That was, of course, Justin Agnew, the director, concept creator of Star Nation, the documentary. Like he said, go to starnationmovie.com and check out his work if you haven't seen it or gotten it already. That was the main thing I want to talk about today. The other thing I wanted to kind of cover today was, where'd it go? There it is. GSL Code S. GSL Code S and Code Code over the last week. It's been a pretty exciting time. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of excitement, a lot of interesting things coming in and out of there. In fact, let's go back here. Let's bring up that. There we go. GSL. In fact, hold on. Let me look up everything so I make sure I got all the right information for you. All right. So, first of all, we have the semifinals in the GSL Code S, and if you haven't seen this or seen how it goes, here's our Code S finalists coming up on September 10th, I think it is. So we're looking at like Saturday night, something like that. All right. So here's our finalists. Ready? In case you don't know, bam! OGS Top. OGS Top to the finals. His first finals, I believe, versus... No, not an ST. He was already knocked out. You know that. But he was knocked out by this guy. I am MVP. That's right. 2-time GSL Code S champion. Not to mention MLG champion. This is a TVT finals, and this is pretty exciting. Overall, there we go. There I am. Alright. Overall, OGS Top versus IN MVP. Who's going to win? Take your guess. It's pretty much going to be IM MVP. But you know what? In a way, I think OGS Top will put up the best fight of almost anybody so far. I mean, maybe. At least for finals. For GSL Code S finals. No one expected Losira, I don't think, to beat Nesty in the last one. No one, I don't think, really expects OGS Top, but you know what? I expect it to be competitive. Because Top's a very, very good player. He's not MVP, though. MVP is a frickin' crazy Terran nerd baller. Like, it's not even funny how good he is. As for, though, anything else, like... OGS Top has this really great economic macro game, right? He plays constantly expanding, constantly building more workers, constantly building up that economy, constantly building up more production facilities. But his weakness is, one, his just kind of early game. His build orders aren't always, and his just overall strategies are a little bit lacking. They're not nearly as refined as MVP's. MVP goes into each game knowing exactly what he's going to do and how to execute it. Like, it's extremely good. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm going to do this up to X amount of food, I'm going to try not to lose this. Like, he seems to have it to where it's like, okay, I'm going to do X push, I will lose X number of Marines, I will be able to pull back, I have this, you know. And then even if it faltered from that, he was just so strong to, like, just to make up for it, just to make it so that it's not even an issue, right? I don't even understand how good that guy is. We did have Code A finals. We talked about Code A last week. We did have some up and down matches just early this morning, in case you missed it. Spoiler alert, because I love giving spoilers, because that's what I do. In case you missed it, Supernova went 3-0 in his group, so he retains Code S. Lenok went 3-0. So he moves back up to Code S. He was in Code S before, correct, wasn't he? I think he was. Alicia went 1-2, drops to Code A, which I kind of think is correct. I Am Yoda went 0-2, stays in Code A, and Byun went 0-3 and I agree with all three of those. I mean, they're good players, but they're Code A players. Lenok is by far, I think, the strongest player out of that group, other than Supernova. So we do have more groups coming up tonight. What are the other groups? Do we have a list of who's playing tonight? Anywhere? Come on, anyone? GSL? Oh, here we go. Okay, who play? Oh, man. Now, this is Group 2. This is the super, super sick group. Look at this. We have Losira, MC, Kyrix, Czech, and Jockji. This is a friggin' ridiculous group. Holy crap. MC and is a Protoss. Jockji's a Terran, but then you have Losira, Kyrix, and Czech, all three Zergs, and all three pretty friggin' strong Zergs. It's weird to see MC down in those up and down matches, but it is what it is, and it's pretty exciting, so he'll make it if he has to. We'll see. I don't know, MC is so good. He's always been such a strong Protoss, but lately he seems to be falling behind the curve in a way. Like, his mechanics are so ridiculously good, but like he seems to be like falling behind the whole metagame. Like, it's kind of what he seems to be, but I don't know. I don't know for certain. I might be wrong. Not sure. That's just kind of what I've seen as of late from MC. So that's pretty exciting to see that group for tonight's matches, or early this morning, early Wednesday morning. Yeah. That's about all the news that we did have for you tonight. I want to thank again Justin Agnew and Star Nation Movie for coming onto the show, for being an awesome interview, an awesome guest. I really enjoyed it. A reminder, there's some things coming up, hopefully some giveaways once they finally go ahead and ship us what I ordered. Other than that, please go ahead, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Please do that. Please. Go to sc2newscast.com. That's our main blog site. That's also where there's all the links on the site to all the social networking, to the Team Liquid thread, to the Facebook, to a YouTube page where I attempted to do some horrible casting once. Oh, I am not. I really need to work on that. That's okay, and you can go ahead and make fun of it too. That's fine. Go ahead, go to the Team Liquid thread, go to the blog, leave us some comments, leave us some feedback. Go to the Facebook page and leave us some feedback there. It's be really appreciated. I listen. You can ask almost anybody who's contacted. I contact back. I like to hear feedback. I like to try new things. So hopefully we're going to get on that. I believe this about wraps it up for today. I'm hoping to get some more guests on soon. So keep it fun and exciting. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm the Amazombie, and I think it's time to sign out. Thanks again, guys.